Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today we are starting my Happy Haileyween vlog. I am hosting a readathon for the next week leading up to Halloween, and I want to vlog my entire reading experience. I'm trying to go live for reading sprints every single day, and I'm also trying to complete my entire TBR plus some. I'm just going hard for Happy Haileyween because it's literally my readathon. It's literally Halloween, which is my favorite time, and I'm gonna read some kick-ass books. So let's get into it. I have my cute little black and pink TBR that I'm obsessed with. I love that it matches all the Haileyween vibes. I have my Haileyween merch on, which is still going to be available after the readathon's over, so if you want to go get it. So many books, so little time. Go and get it. It's always linked. These are my books for all of the prompts. The first one that I'm going to get into is Tell Me I'm Worthless by Allison Rumfitt. This will fit my queer rep prompt and also the prompt for black on the cover, which is an easy one. So this is about a girl who goes to a house and has a weird experience there, and it's haunting her, and her friend goes there and her friend gets stuck. So she has to confront this house where she had this horrible traumatic experience in order to save her friend. The main character is trans, the author is a trans woman as well, so it's an own voices tale and it's clearly gonna have queer rep. I've heard that it's pretty dark, pretty intense. I have my cutesy little bookmark from the used bookstore where I got this, and I'm excited to get into it. I just started my first sprint of Happy Haileyween, so this is the perfect time to get into it. Hello vlog, I've just been sprinting away. I've been gossiping with the girls. I actually spilled probably way too much tea. So if you're on these first sprints, count yourself as lucky because I really need to put my muzzle on after this. Not helping that I am drinking my little whiskey spiked apple cider. I also made some cookies with the girls. We're just having a good time. And I am a quarter of the way through Tell Me I'm Worthless. This book is so good. I'm obsessed with it. It is dark and it is twisted, but it's also very, very, very socially conscious. First page, we had quotes about fascism. It's very, very much aware of the current climate. We're following two trans women. We get both of their perspectives. They used to be very, very close, like each other's most important people, but the events that unfolded in this house have led them to hate each other, basically driven a wedge between them, and we are trying to figure out what actually happened and hopefully see them mend things. We get both of their perspectives, like I said, but we also get the perspective of the house where the bad things happened, and I think that is so cool. I'm loving it. It's just written with like this very visceral, uncomfortable, squinching kind of atmosphere. Oh, it's dark and twisty. I love it. So I'm gonna keep on reading this, sprinting with the girls, and I will check in with you when I'm about halfway through. Good morning vlog. It is the next day. It is the second day of Happy Haileyween, and I have a reading update for you. I loved sprints last night. It was so much fun. Deja ended up joining us, and we always just gab when we are on sprints together, so it was awesome. Thank you so much for joining if you were there. It was the best time ever. And I am over halfway through Tell Me I'm Worthless, so like one day into the readathon, and I'm already halfway through one of my books. I feel really good about it. I got to part 2, Irreversible Damage, and I'm really liking it. It's really trippy. If you like mind-bending horror, you're definitely gonna like this. The queer characters are not just queer and then it's a story about, you know, horror. It is about the horror of being queer in a country where that is under fire, specifically being trans, not just queer. One of the characters that we're following is a TERF, and clearly she is going through her own gender identity stuff, and it's just being projected on the trans people around her. It's really, really sad. Like, the questions at the core of this novel, it's about the story, but it's also about their identity, right? It's like, what happened? What is the truth? Who is the victim? Who is the perpetrator? It's all really confusing and mind-bending and scary and sad. Like, this is a very, very heavy book, but it's very meaningful, and it feels like it captures the trans experience well. I mean, I don't understand what that's like personally, but I work with a lot of trans people in my practice. Obviously, being in the queer community, I've heard people's narratives, people's stories, people's emotions about it. And this feels like a very heart-wrenchingly real account of what it's like to be trans. I keep wanting to say in America, but this does take place in the UK. So it feels relevant to America, especially in our current climate. But yeah, this is more commentary on the UK. So I hesitate to say enjoying it because it's really heavy, but I think this is a really, really well-written book. I will definitely be finishing this up this afternoon. It was actually like crazy, crazy thunderstorms last night, and they're supposed to start up again in a couple hours today, and it's just supposed to be like a thunderstormy weekend. I'm kind of excited for the vibes. I might just have like a rotting day at home and enjoy reading and hanging out. This is my favorite kind of atmosphere to read by, so I think I'm just gonna chill. My favorite reading spot is on the couch where I can see out my balcony window and watch the squirrels. I might watch the storm, watch the squirrels, read my book. I think I'm gonna make like a late breakfast because I said like good morning, but I did sleep in a ton. It's already noon. So I think I'm gonna make a little late breakfast, read more of my book, and I will let y'all know what I'm thinking a little bit later. Hi vlog, it's way too dark to even see me, hold on. Okay, that helped marginally. I'm very much enjoying the thunderstorm rotting vibes of today. I've literally done nothing. All I've literally done is make breakfast and read my motherfucking book, and it's like 5 p.m. Like the day's almost over. But I'm just kind of living, laughing, loving, rotting. We all need a day like this. I have made it to part 3 and I'm really liking it. We finally got to see what actually happened in the house that first time, and I'm still confused. Like, I still have no answers to my questions. Now part 3 is gonna pick up and tell us what's gonna happen in the house this time around in the present day timeline. I only have 50 pages left. I don't know if I'm gonna get any answers. If I don't, I honestly do think that will be a little unsatisfying, but the reading experience is trippy and crazy and commentary written and just great. I think I'm just gonna finish up this book right now and continue my rot day. I might eat a cookie, but like, I literally have no other plans. Girl, I've done nothing. I've done nothing all day. I've literally done nothing. But I finished my first book. I finished my first book of Happy Haileyween. It's only been 24 hours and I already am done with 1 book and 2 prompts. And I ended up giving this book 3 stars. It kind of fell off at the end for me. I was looking for more answers and I felt like I got more questions. The ending was very confused. Half of it felt like, you know, really diving deep with the characters, but I didn't end up having a solid place to land with them. The other half felt like less fiction, more just like straightforward commentary on what's happening socially right now in the world in regards to trans people and fascism, which I agreed wholeheartedly with a lot of the sentiments, but it just felt a little bit clumsily integrated. I wanted it more to be commentary through the eyes of the characters, like what was happening in the first half, but it just kind of devolved into something that felt a little bit too spoon-fed for my liking. I like a metaphor that's a little bit more ambiguous, and it's weird that this felt simultaneously too straightforward and left me with more questions. Like, I just didn't get the clarity that I needed meaning wise from the book. However, my reading experience was mostly really enjoyable. I think the imagery in this book is insane. I think the way that it feels so trippy and like you're in the house with them is wild. I loved the perspective of the house. I love a lot of the character dynamics and the questions that were brought up around our characters. So it's a really interesting book. However, it just didn't end up coming together for me like I wanted it to. So I'm gonna give it 3 stars, but I'm not mad about it. I did enjoy my time with it. It was dark though, it was a bit heavy. So I think I'm gonna go for something a little bit lighter up next, and I'm gonna try to complete the prompt for reading a book that takes place on Halloween. And the book that I'm gonna choose for that is actually on my Kindle. It is Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. This book is about a small town that is haunted by a creature called Halloween. Every single night, this creature comes and haunts the town and terrorizes people, but there is a special thing that Halloween does on All Hallows Eve, and we're gonna find out what that is. It's supposed to be like very cozy autumnal vibes, kind of perfect for my cozy thunderstormy day in today. And it's only 100 pages, so it's a short little novella that I should be able to knock out tonight before I go to bed. I think I'm just going to stick with the self-care vibes tonight. I was gonna try to stream and do some more sprints tonight, but I want to get in the bath, so I'm not really gonna go live from the bath. This is not that type of channel. I think I'm just gonna run myself a little bath, pour myself a little glass of red wine, and read this book. Good morning, vloggy vlog. I had a wonderful evening last night. It was so chill. Honestly, I think I just needed the rotting reading day, so I'm glad that I took it. In my little spooky bath, I did end up finishing the entirety of Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt. I loved it. It was so spooky and fun. The entire way through, I was engrossed. The characters were interesting. It's this weird, quirky little small town. Like I mentioned when I read the synopsis, they're being like terrorized every night by this creature called Halloween, and we find out that our main character has like lore in his family regarding contact with the creature. So he kind of takes it upon himself over the course of the novella to confront the creature, and you feel increasingly closer to the creature until it all like explodes and comes to a head at the end. It was a really creepy, a little bit ambiguous ending, which I appreciated. It was very spooky autumnal vibes. It had strong Halloween energy if you're looking for like a short novella to read on Halloween. Halloween Fiend is literally perfect. It was giving me all the vibes. I gave it 4 stars. It was great. And then after that, I was not done with my reading for the evening. I was just ready to start another book. And so I picked up Fang Fiction by Kate Stamen London. Before I get into my thoughts on this book and what it's about, let me do like a little prompt check-in. So I finished 3 out of the 5 prompts. I did Queer Rep and Black Cover, and then with Halloween Fiend, I finished a book that takes place on Halloween. Now I'm going going for the mystical otherworldly creature prompt by reading fan fiction, which features vampires. And I'm only a couple chapters in. Let me see. Yeah, I'm literally on chapter 3. So not that far in, but I'm actually surprised how much I'm liking this book. It's a romance, and I'm not a romance girly like most of the time, but something about this is really connecting me. And the basic plot of this book is that we're following our main character following a pretty traumatic event. There are trigger warnings for sexual assault in here. She is overcoming her trauma, and the only way that she can really stay connected to any kind of feelings of romance and connection are reading these fantasy, kind of like romantasy vampire books, which for me, and I know maybe a lot of you, is relatable. I definitely coped with similar trauma by escaping into books, so I felt really seen and immediately connected to this main character. We are following her on that personal journey, but the otherworldly elements come in because she gets into like fan fiction around these vampires that she loves, but obviously like it's a fictional world. However, there are weird fan fiction people in this fandom for these vampires, and they have this conspiracy that the vampires are actually real. This is not a fiction book series. There's like weird lore around the author of the series, like no one's ever found them, they're an enigma, and pictures have surfaced of these people in all these different periods over the course of time, and they look like the descriptions of these two main vampire characters in the books. So it's this whole big conspiracy on the internet that maybe these vampires are real and it's not just a fictional story. She, our main character, ends up getting involved with the vampires. They actually come to find her and they need her help. So she finds out that the conspiracy is true. Like they're all real, and she's gonna work through her real life trauma and then whatever is going on in this otherworldly vampire situation that she thought was fake but also could be real. I don't know how real it is at this point because I'm so early on in the book, but I am freaking loving it. It is so fun. There is queer rep in here. Like basically everybody feels bisexual, which yeah, Kate Stayman London, I fear she gets me. Like just the way that she's describing this like group of people, group of friends, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like my group of friends. Like these are my people. So already I'm loving it, and I do have this on audio as well, so I think I'm gonna continue listening to this book this morning. I'm gonna hop in the shower, get ready. Oh yeah, the reason why I look bedraggled is because I just got back from a yoga class and I was literally sweating my ass off. My instructor said it got up to 94 degrees in the room and I was like pouring sweat and dying. So if I look a little shiny, a little bedraggled, it's the yoga. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for the day, listen to a little bit more of this, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to go. All right, I am ready to go. I'm actually about to run out of the house and go meet my friend at a cute little coffee shop. Sunday morning coffee. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be fun. But I did want to update you because while I was getting ready, I got a quarter of the way through fan fiction and I'm freaking loving it. It has this like cozy fantasy vibe. It feels like I'm reading The Wedding Witch by Erin Sterling, which I gave 4.5 stars. I freaking loved it. It's also very relatable for like weird fanfic girls, and that's very me. So I'm gonna get into this more later today, but now it's time to go to coffee. Okay, hi vlog. I just got done with some sprints after coffee, came home, immediately got on sprints so I could get more into fan fiction. My book is over there. I'm not gonna grab it because this is a quick update. I literally have to leave to go on a date. It's a second date with someone I have a huge crush on right now. We're going to dinner and to a show, and the chat on sprints helped me pick out my outfit. Here we are. I have these little like heart, little embroidered pants, the little vest top, the little sunglasses, my little heart necklace to match the motif on the pant, the silver bag, docs to complete it. I was in between tennis shoes and docs, and the chat said docs. I'm nervous and I gotta go. Y'all aren't gonna be seeing B-roll, to be real. Like, I can't be filming B-roll on a date. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm not that scared, actually. I know this man loves me. He doesn't love me, but like, he's on his way. I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, and I'll have to let you know about my date and also about my book, because that's going well. Regardless of how this goes, whatever happens on this date, I love my book, and that's enough. Goodbye. Good morning, vlog. It is the next day. I had the best date last night. Oh my god, it went so well. Oh my god, I just had so much fun. It was so much fun. It just felt easy. The conversation was flowing. We were laughing. We just had a good ass time. So I'm a happy girl this morning. I do have a really busy day though. I've been in my training already for 3 hours this morning. I'm pretty much consumed for the entire day. It's like 8 to 10 hours on Zoom doing somatic experience training for my practice. I'm almost done with it. Thank God. I'm so ready to be at the end of this journey. It's been like 3.5 years. Feeling happy about last night, feeling accomplished that I'm getting my training done today. It's not leaving a lot of time for reading though, but I'm trying to kind of cultivate an air of self-care and taking breaks, because being trapped on Zoom can be overwhelming, and the readathon is definitely helping with that. Just between like waking up this morning and having the couple breaks that we had this morning, I've gotten to the halfway point of fan fiction, and I'm kind of feeling the exact same way about it as I did in my last update. It's very like cozy fantasy, it's very queer, it's very found family. It's just light and easy to read, but it's not boring, and I genuinely really like picking it up. Also, I had a package come this morning that kind of throws a wrench in my TBR plans. When I finish up this book, I will have finished 4 out of the 5 prompts for Haileyween. The only prompt that I have remaining is read a book by a BIPOC author, and what I had originally put on my TBR for that prompt is The White Guy Dies First. This is a collection of a bunch of BIPOC authors. It's all horror stories about fear and power, commenting on systemic issues, etc. And I'm really excited to read this. I do want to read it this month. However, I did just get this in the mail, and this is by Mia Ballard, one of my favorite authors, period. But she's also an indie author of color who deserves so much more hype. This is her novella, We All Rot Eventually, and I've heard amazing things about it. I just love her writing. So we might have to slip this in as my next read before I get to this one. I am so excited to get to this, but obviously over the course of the day during my training, I'm gonna be getting more into fan fiction. Hello vlog. It is much later after my training. Finally, I get to be off Zoom. Oh my god, those trainings are wonderful. I love them. They're so informative. They are just draining. I'm so happy to be done. I'm going to fix myself a little drinky pop, get on Sprinty Pops, and read my book. I'm almost done with fan fiction. Over the course of my breaks throughout the training, I did make it to the 75% mark, and we got through a little intense part of the book there. Like, there was a little triggering section talking about sexual trauma and how to navigate that in relationships, and really empathizing with our main character. That was the moment that led to the main couple like coming together. There's also another couple that's coming together, and it's like a sapphic vampire situation that I'm living for. So overall, I'm just really enjoying this a lot more than I thought I was going to be totally honest. It's great, and I want nothing more than to get my little Olipop in my hand, get on sprints with the girls, and just finish this up. That sounds like the ideal way to end a super long, draining day. Well, vlog, I just finished up Fang Fiction and I have 4 out of 5 prompts completed for Happy Haileyween, and we're only halfway through. So I'm gonna get into a lot of mood reading in the second half. I'm so excited. But before we even think about that, let me wrap up this book. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I was going to. I thought this was just gonna be a little fluffy, like non-thinking book to break up the horror, but honestly, I loved it. It was so much fun. It had so much heart. The characters were so endearing. It reminded me of something like The Spell Shop, The Wedding Witch, Legends and Lattes. If you like stuff like that, you will love this. It was emotional, but not too much. It was light, but not too like nothing. Like, it was just the perfect medium. It had fun banter and good character relationships. It was just kind of everything, and I'm very primed to get back into horror now. So first half of Haileyween was a success. I'm gonna close out the part 1 vlog here. Be sure to stay tuned for part 2 so you can see how I wrap up my reading of my TBR and what other mood reading I get into over the next few days. Thank you guys so much for participating in the readathon with me. I hope you are having a good time. Let me know down below what books you've completed, what prompts you've completed, what you've been enjoying. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching this vlog. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!